What's up, YouTube? Winterguard here. Today we're going to talk about the Stone of Jordan ring, arguably one of the best rings in the game. Very sought after, definitely best ring in slot for casters. Gives +1 stats. I'll pop up what it looks like on the screen. And what I'm going to do is show you how to optimize your chances to find one. And this is specific to farming SoJs. I will preface this by saying I did not find one in the runs I made, but that was on me. I made probably a very bad mistake at the very beginning that cost me a lot of chances for it to drop. So that's on me. I believe this to be extremely viable way to farm specifically for an SoJ if you're looking for one. It still has a pretty high trade value. And now they're using it to spawn the Diablo Clone, which you have to sell one to a vendor on a specific server set. And you have to sell, I think it's between 75 and 125 SOJs for it to spawn the Diablo Clone for everybody that's currently playing on that server. So it's pretty concerted effort to make this happen. I'm not going to get into all the details. I don't like the way this occurs. The reason why the Diablo clone was previously implemented in original Diablo 2 was because SoJ was so duped that there were literally thousands of them on the server, and they implemented the Diablo clone event to try and get rid of some of them, which didn't work, of course. I mean, there was so many available that it was kind of crazy. It was used as a currency more than high runes were. So I don't particularly like how they're still using that. I mean, it doesn't take that many to spawn, but I mean, really still up to 125 SOJs to sell on one server set to get that to happen is still a lot. It's not that common of a ring. It's one of the rarest to drop. If, for instance, you get if you're farming somewhere and a unique ring drops and you're in a farming area where any of the rings can occur, you have a 1 in 59 chance of that being a SOJ, and that's regardless of your magic find. If you remember from my previous video, magic find only determines that a unique ring drops. It doesn't tell you which kind it's going to be. So if you get a ring to drop, you have a 1 in 59 chance of that being an SoJ. So keep that in mind. And this is why we're going to farm Nightmare Andariel for SOJs. Based off of her monster level, if a unique ring drops, she only can drop 3 rings. That's the Nadril, the Manald Heal, and an SOJ. So that reduces your chances to 1 in 31 of the ring being an SoJ. So let me get to where I screwed up. I was running my optimal gear, which puts me at about 223 magic find. So for every ring that Andariel drops, the magic find determines whether that's going to be a unique, set, rare, or blue ring. And I did not take that into consideration. I was doing it for speed, and since it's Nightmare Andariel, you don't need to do that. I realized my mistake later in my runs. I'll let you know that I did 400 runs total, and I did 300 of them in my speed clear gear. So my magic find, when I switched it all out to where I just put as much magic find as I could possibly stack. Clear speed's not an issue. If anything, maybe teleport speed, so you might want to have a switch to optimize your magic find. I was able to get it up to 403 magic find. So here's the difference it made. In my first 300 runs, I had 5 unique rings drop. In my last 100 runs, which is 25% of the runs, I got 6. So if I'd have done that from the beginning, I could have potentially had 10 to 12 more rings where I can get a 1 out of 31 chance to roll a SoJ. So I really screwed this up, and that's on me. I really would like to see if you guys test this out, whether or how it works for you. If you've already done it and you've got an SoJ from farming Andariel, let me know in the comments. It was not a complete loss. I actually got a couple of upgrades, which I'll show you. I'm going to do just a short compilation of some of the drops that occurred. But in total, I got 11 unique rings to drop out of 400 runs. But if I'd have really upped my magic find like I did for the last 100, that could have been potentially 3 times more rings, which is just that was a screw up on my part. I probably could have gotten an SoJ to drop, and I will probably try this again just to see if I can make it happen. But tested it out and see I still got some upgrades, surprisingly, for farming Nightmare Andariel. So I'll show you what I got. Unfortunately, the SoJ did not drop, but I think this is 100% viable. The odds are in your favor a little more versus just farming in general. And again, that's specifically if you are looking for the SoJ. This is probably your best shot at getting one to drop. You can do these runs quick. If it wasn't for the game creation throttling, I was doing sub 1 minute runs, depending on the map. Sometimes you got one that just took you all over the place. But there was many times where I got throttled when I tried to create the next game because I did it under a minute. So I think this is viable, and I think if you guys test this out, I think you could potentially get you an SoJ if you don't already have one. And again, if you have one and you just want to see if you can get one for trading, again, I think at time of recording, I think they're still running in Vex price range. Correct me if I'm wrong. So they're still viable, or I mean still worthwhile to farm. And once ladder hits, if it ever does, we will you'll be wanting to get one for ladder, and you'll have this information ahead of time to potentially farm it. So let's get into the runs. Like I said, I'm just going to pop up a couple of items that dropped that were worth mentioning, even though this is Nightmare, and show you what I was able to get, and just for your information, things that dropped there that you might not know about. So let's get into that. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like and a subscribe. Discord information's in the description if you're looking for a community to hang out with. A lot of people always on, so hit us up on Discord and get involved there. So let's do it. Okay, this is run 291, and we're still running the speed clear gear, and we get a neat little double drop. Anywhere else, this is really cool, but this is Nightmare, so the amulet's not going to be, but certain ones as well, like Nokazan and Mahim. So we get a 29 Nagel, which almost perfect magic find, so pretty good Nagel ring to find. It's actually an upgrade for me. Okay, this run 297, we're still again in speed clear gear, and we get another ring drop. And this is only a few after the 29, and we get a 30, which is perfect magic find. So upgraded to upgrade. Okay, we're on run 303, just a few after the last perfect Nagel, or perfect magic find Nagel. And you see there we get 2 ring drops. One was a set, so that's where the magic find comes into play. So I get another 30, so we get back-to-back 30% Nagels, which is perfect magic find. Okay, this is run 365. We'd switched up the gear for a higher magic find, and we get a serpent skin, which is Viper Magi. I didn't even realize this dropped here. I don't know why I didn't think that, but because it is a low level item. but we get 30 resist, which is actually better than the one I've been using. I had the one previous that I gotten was like a 21 or 22, so it wasn't a great one. Okay, just final thoughts on this. As you can see, we got some decent items actually for farming a nightmare area. The hunt was for the SoJ, which we did not get, but again, I put that on my technique. I should have really jumped the magic find from the get-go, and I think I probably would have gotten it. So I'm gonna probably try this again at some point if I still don't have one. But I definitely encourage you guys to check it out and see if it works for you. I did get a lot of jewelry. I mean, I didn't even keep everything. I left some of the amulets on the ground, but I think all total, I think I got 5 or 6 nagels that were worth hanging on to. Like 26 was the lowest one, I believe. But I got 230s and a 29. So if nothing else, it's a a nagel finding area. But I do believe the SoJ is viable to get there. So definitely give it a shot and see how it works out for you. Uh, and leave a note in the comments if you have tried it, or if you do try it and get an SoJ, just definitely let me know. So I'm going to leave it at that. Again, join us on Discord. Link will be in the description. You guys have a great day. Keep on farming.